Your mind, wherever your mind is focused, that's where you're going to go. If you're focused on lack, I don't have enough, I'm going down, then that's exactly where you're going to go. But that's not God's best for you. Deuteronomy 28. I know a couple of people in here definitely know this verse by heart. But I want to read verse 1 and 2. Now it shall come to pass, if you diligently obey the voice of the Lord your God, to observe carefully all his commandments, which I command you today, that the Lord your God will set you high above all nations of the earth. And all these things, all these blessings shall come upon you and overtake you because you obey the voice of the Lord. Now you can read verses 3 through 12 on your own, but I want to jump down to verse 13. Because again, your imagination can take you over or it can take you under. In verse 13 it says, and the Lord will make you the head and not the tail. You shall be above only and not beneath. If you heed the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you today, and are careful to observe them. Now, I have found in my life that there are many times that I find myself thinking about lack or I'm unworthy. And when I start to go down that rabbit hole, I quote that verse and it energizes me because that's a promise of God. That's a promise that he has given me, that I will be the head and not the tail. I will be the top and not the bottom. I'm going over, I'm not going under. What are you passionate for? It's not too late to seek after your passion, the passion that God's given you. I know I don't look it, but I just turned 65. Okay? I'm an author and I'm a speaker. God has opened what no man can shut and shut no man can open. Isaiah 22:22. God is not looking for the qualified, he's looking for the obedient. You think about the disciples. Name one of those disciples that was qualified to do what God called them to do. There wasn't. But yet they were all obedient to do exactly what Christ asked them to do. When I look at my resume, if you saw my resume, you'd say, he shouldn't be up there. He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't have written a book, that's for sure. Okay? But when I look at what God has prepared me for over my life, I find that I'm right exactly where he wants me to be. I think about your pastor. Brother, you're getting ready to step into a new level of ministry that is far and above what you can think or ask. Amen. And the only safety net you got is your faith in God. In Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich, he states, whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Now, this is not a Christian book. However, it is based on scriptural principles. Ephesians 4:23. I'll tell you what, go to Romans 12:2. I'm going to read Ephesians 4:23, but go to Romans 12:2. Ephesians 4:3 says, instead let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this word, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Every day we are bombarded by wrong thoughts, worry about finances, relationships, something we said or did when we were 12 years old. I don't know why it's 12 years old, but that seems to be the year that I must have really screwed things up. We think about bad news. If you're watching news 24/7, this one got shot, this one got killed. The riots are mostly peaceful. Seeing things we shouldn't see. I've traveled for 30 years. I go to Walmart, I go to airports, and I see things that 20, 30 years ago would never been accepted. But it's there all the time. Nancy Dufresne said something that I really picked up on, and I love this. And I look around, most of us got hair in here. I don't see anybody that doesn't have too much hair. But Nancy says, the mind does not stay renewed any more than hair stays combed. Every day you must put your mind back in place. The point is that the world messes with us every day. On rare occasions, we may go through a day and everything's going great. Nothing happens. That's a very rare occasion. Because usually I got some driver that gets in front of me that goes 10 miles under the speed limit, and I say, Lord, please help me. Because we live in a fallen world, we're going to have tests and trials. It's not if offense comes, it's when it comes. And how are you going to deal with it? We leak. Right? We leak. We are constantly bombarded with what the world has to offer.